This is Lori with Rockenco Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. In today's video, I want to test one of the items that I just purchased from Let's Resin. If you watched my most recent unboxing of the Let's Resin molds and supplies, you know that one of the items I purchased was the Let's Resin Intense Chameleon powder. I love the Intense flakes, so I want to see what the powder is going to look like. And in order to test it, what I want to do, I am going to pour the little dragon simply because there are details in this mold. I want to see how it works in a detailed mold. I'm going to pour 2 of the little skull molds because what I want to do is when I want to back one with the black epoxy resin paste, pigment paste, and one with the white, just to see what sort of differences it would make. And these are like a little 3D mold. So I want to see, one, how hard is it to get it in there, and then what it looks like when it's finished. And then the third little set of molds, I think this is called keychain molds. This is, I have a hair in there. This is something that came with the kit when I very first started. I mean, probably a couple weeks after I started, I decided to go ahead and buy some kits. Let me get that out of there. But I've never used this mold. So what I think I want to do here is I want to pour at least 3. One I want with the black backing, one I want with the white backing, and one I want with the clear backing, just to see what the intense powder looks like with each of the different backings. And this is just a little flat mold. So like 3 different kinds of molds. I want to use the black, the white, and the clear for backing, just to see what each one looks like. So let me start by getting this brush out. Here I have some. I do love the fact that they always send it's a nice brush. I love these brushes. Let me set that out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these out of the box, and we will see what we have. Haven't decided what I want to brush what with what yet, so that's gold, maple. Oh, this is just really pretty. Black cherry. I like the sound of that. Use a green and a blue. I think I'm actually going to do the dragon in the black cherry. And the dragon I do plan on backing with black. Oops, let me get this off of here. It's really pretty. Let me get this little plastic off. Get that in the trash. I got some static going on. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I'm just going to barely dip my, man, look how, that is so pretty. That is pretty, and it's really fine powder. So I'm just going to start with a little bit and see how far it goes. So far, I really like it, and I'm just starting. And I love the intense flakes as well. And I'm going to burnish this for a while. I know you do with the flakes. I don't know if you need to with the powder, but I am going to, just to be on the safe side. Oh, y'all, that is so pretty. That is so pretty. Unfortunately, it doesn't show up on camera as well. This is gorgeous. And so far, I mean, I haven't counted, but it doesn't seem like I've had to. I'm going to need my dotting tool to get up in that tail area. I really haven't had to use a whole bunch, which is nice. That means a little bit goes a long way. I'm going to get a little bit more for this part of the tail. And then, ooh, I probably got more than I needed there. I'm going to see about using my dotting tool. Kind of spreading this apart to get up in that little nook in the tail. Because I don't want to miss any part. Yeah, I probably got a little too much on that tail area. But I will give it a thump. I just want to make sure I get every little detail that oh, how I wish that showed up on the camera just as how pretty it is. I'm going to go ahead and give a little thump. Set it aside. I want to clean my brush. And clean the little spot that I made the mess in. Better put the lid on before, and that's the black cherry. Now, I have blue, green, maple, and gold. I'm trying to think of what color I want to do the skulls, because I want to do them the same color just so I can see the difference in the backing on a 3D, in a 3D mold. Blue, green. Okay, I'm going to do blue. I could not make up my mind, but I'm going to do blue. Let me go ahead and get that off. We'll see just how hard or easy it is to get this inside of this little mold, these little molds. Okay. All right, let me put that blue is pretty too. Okay, just have a little bit on my brush, and I'm just going to try to, and I'll give you a peek, see, once I get it brushed in. I just don't want to miss any little nook or cranny in here. Right now, just looking at the bottom of the mold or the top of the skull, it looks really shiny and pretty. Almost like a blue chromish shine. Well, I'm sprinkling that everywhere. I need to slow down. I don't want to get it in my other pieces. All right, I just want to make sure I get the very top here. And that was just putting that brush in there once. Let me give it a thump. Can you guys see how shiny that is? Unfortunately, it just doesn't show up on the camera as well as I would like. All right, I'm going to brush the other one, same color. Simply because I want to see what the difference is when you back it. I'm going to back one of these, I think, with clear and one of them with, or should I do white? One with black pigment, and the other one will either be clear or white. I don't know yet. Maybe I should try white just to see. I just want to make sure I have every nook and cranny. So this powder, I love it. It goes a long way. I just dipped once. Dipped my brush in there once. So let me move that to the side. Clean my brush off. Clean my mess off here. And we'll start with, and I may actually think about adding these to this as to the little keychain molds as well. I don't know. I never know until I get right there. Let me get another wet alcohol wipe, and let's start here. So I think I want to do at least these three, And I do want to try all of these colors. So let's start with maple. Let's see if I can get the lid off. Let's start with a different one. Then let's start with gold. That lid came right off. I may have to get assistance for the other lid. Okay, y'all, I'm getting this all over me. I just can't seem to get that off, so I'm going to use an alcohol wipe. It's like stuck onto my hand. All right, now let's try to get this off. Make sure my brush is good and clean. And this is the gold. Oh, wow, that is so shiny. I'm going to stop right there with the gold. I'm going to make sure I have it up the sides, but let me put that lid on. Gold and green and maple. Clean off my brush. All right, I have two that I cannot open, so let me put you on pause so I can see if I can get some assistance opening these. I'll be right back. For hanging in there. These lids were on snug as a bug in a rug. This is the maple, and this is the green. Let me open the green first. Right now, what I'm seeing, I really like. Let me get the green. I'm just going to put some right there. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have dipped that brush again because a little bit really does go a long way. Let me shut that and move it back for a sec. And after I get the powder all on, then I'll kind of burnish it in. All right, this is the maple. I have no idea what color really maple is. Ooh, it almost just in the little jar, it almost looks like a burgundy sort of color, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what color it really is. Oh, it's kind of a brownish, reddish. It's a pretty color. I may put something a little bit different there. That really is a pretty color. Let me close this. Don't want to spill it. Clean my brush. Now I'm going to go back in with some blue. I have it all over me. I'm going to go back in with some blue. Oh, don't drop that. I think I want a little blue up here. Let's see if I can get it around there. And I think I want some. Oh, that blue is pretty. That blue is so darn pretty. And I can't say there's any rhyme or reason to the design I'm making other than I just really want to see what this looks like once it's poured and cured, of course. All right, I'm going back to the black cherry. That's a really pretty color. I don't think I needed that much. I definitely didn't need that much. Yeah, a little bit goes a long way, y'all. And I don't want to put black cherry down here because I already have some. There's maple green. Let's put a little blue. Just a teeny tiny. Let me see if I can just barely dip my brush in there, because that's all you have to do. And for up here, I'm going to use green. I know a lot of people don't care for the color green, but I love it. It reminds me of nature. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to shut these, kind of burnish this in, make sure I have stuff up the sides, because I do like to do the sides. And then I'll give it a thump. And I'm not even burnishing it real hard. It seems to be sticking on there real well. So definitely don't need to put as much on my brush as I did. It's going to make a mess, y'all. Let me clean this mess up. I do not need to put as much on my brush as I did, because a little bit of this goes a long, long way. Let me get that kind of cleaned up. I don't know how well you can see this. Unfortunately, the colors on the camera look somewhat muted, but they're really pretty. All right, so we have those. One's going to be backed in black, one in white, one in clear. The dragon, definitely, I want to back it in black. I definitely want to back the dragon in black. On the skulls, I'm leaning toward one clear and one black, just because I want to see what the difference is depending on how you back them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up 10, 20, maybe 40 milliliters of resin, 40 or 60. I'm going to mix up some resin, and I'll meet you back here in just a minute for the pour. See you shortly. I went ahead and mixed 60 milliliters of resin. And I think what I want to do is I want to start with the clear pours, and then I will mix the pigment with the rest. I think I'm going to do this one clear, and I do think I'm going to do one of the skulls clear, simply because sometimes I just like to look down on the bottom and see what I can see. So let me start by getting this piece of fuzz off the cup. I'm going to go ahead and fill this one about halfway full. Give it some squeezes, because I really, if possible, do not want bubbles in the jawbones. Some thumps. And then let me go ahead and see if I can dome it off. All right. I'm going to move this out of the way. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like I can use some more in here. Just a little. Now I'm going to move it out of the way. Let me thump it some. Let me grab my stick. And I am going to pour this one clear. And I really hope that it does turn out in clear, because I like to work with clear resin. And if I want to see both sides of something, whether one side be, I mean, like right now, you can see the colors coming through. And let me stop there. I'm going to pour just a little. I just need a teeny tiny bit of white. I'm going to do this one in the white backing. So let me just get a little teeny tiny bit of white in here. I probably don't even need, want to make sure I have enough. I'd rather have a little too much than not enough. And I want to make sure I have enough black left over for 3 of them. We'll see. Hopefully that's enough. If not, that's okay too. We're still going to see what we have. And I have already pre-stirred the epoxy paste, and I'm going to barely stick my stick in there and see what I have. As I'm working with it more and more, I am definitely learning that the pigment paste go a long way. You don't need a whole bunch. Let me clean my stick off and see if I can tell if it's opaque enough. I think so. I guess we're getting ready to find out, aren't we? So let me go ahead and pour the white, and I'll try not to get my hand too much in your way. And even if this doesn't, even if it's not enough to dome it, it'll still be enough for me to see, hopefully, what it looks like with the white backing. All right, I'm going to stop there. Move that. Oh no, y'all. Let me see if I can get that white drop out without taking the powder off. That was not supposed to happen. Okay, good. It looks like most of the powder stayed put. All right, and this is just a cup I reuse until I can't. Just a little paper cup. I'm going to go ahead and put some resin in there. I think that's probably more than enough, but if not, I have some in reserve here. I'm going to put just one little drop. And this is the Let's Resin Epoxy Resin Pigment Paste. And as always, I will put a link to some of the products I use in the description box below. That's just one drop. I want to see how dark that is. And thus far, I'm really pleased with this powder. But I guess we'll really know once we unmold. Now it's going to look really dark in there because I've already mixed in this cup more than once. I just like to reuse until I can't. Let me do a little test. I'll just stick it in there. I think that's going to be dark enough. Let me throw that away. Let me do the dragon, and then I'll move this back over. But yeah, let me go ahead and do the dragon first. I'm second guessing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this one first. That way I can move this out of the way, and then the dragon's going to take a little bit of time. That way I can decide if I think I need to mix a little bit more. And right now, none of these are domed. If I need to come back in and dome, I will. I may have to mix some more pigment, but if I need to dome it, I will. I want to try to carefully get this in the dragon without making a big mess, and I apologize for having my hand in your way. I want to get a little bit in there, and I'll take my tool and help move it around a little bit, and then see if I need to add more, which I probably will. I'll just drop that on there too. As you can see, the powder some of it is kind of floating up, but that may be because I didn't burnish it in enough, I didn't thump it hard enough, or that just may be the way it is. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, I will definitely need to put some more in this one, but let me see if I can help what's in there spread a little bit before I do that. I went a little overboard on the tail. Let me see if I can get it to scooch in. I'm going to use the other side of my tool to try to get it to move through the tail. And then if I need to clean up a mess, I will. Because this dragon I have overboarded a couple times, and it's really not a whole bunch of fun to trim because it's so small and so detailed. Let me just try and scoop some of that out. I have way too much in that part of the tail. All right, let me go ahead and add a little bit more because there's definitely room. Just a little bit at a time, though. So I don't want to go over, but I definitely want it domed. Yeah, that's good there. All right, I'm going to scoot that back, and I'm going to move this back over and try not to move my whole mat. Because I don't want to spill it either. I'm going to try and move the camera down here. On this black, it looks like a whole rainbow just dancing on the back of it. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm trying to get it out of the light. Isn't that pretty? Okay, made you dizzy. So let's go ahead, and since I have it, I'm gonna go ahead and see about doming the black and the clear. I still have a little bit of black left. I would just rather mix too much than not enough, though. Let me go ahead and get that domed. Oh, I don't want to go overboard on that either. It looks like it may hold. No, I better stop there. I see some overflowing right here, so I better stop. All right, well, what I am going to do is I'm going to let this cure for 24 hours. Oh, y'all, I am glad that I was looking. There's nothing in this one. I'm going to need black. I am so glad that I noticed that. And I'll probably have to, I just completely overlooked that one. Let me see if I can carefully move this. See what I have in here. I may have to mix a little bit more black, and yeah, I'm going to. So I'm going to do that before I pour because I would hate two different shades of black. So let me just add a little more of the pigment paste. All right, let's give this a mix. I am so glad I saw that before I used all the resin on something. I'm glad I had some left over. I honestly thought this was the clear one that I poured because the clear one basically looks the same. A little bit of powder floating on it. Let me make sure that's good and mixed. All right, now let's get this on poured. I just almost overlooked that, and it's a pretty important part of this because I definitely want to see. I still may not have mixed enough, y'all. In the black, I mean, there's still extra resin. We'll see. We'll see what fits in here. Let's see if I can't get it out of this little cup. But I definitely want to see what it looks like the skulls or other deeper molds. I mean, the dragon is a thin, it's 3D, but it's thin. Yeah, I'm gonna have to mix it a little bit more. I kind of want that full. So maybe it is good that I mixed 60 instead of 40. Oh, I'm getting a little klutzy over here. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put whatever's left in here. Move that out of the way. I'll probably have my colors off a little bit because it's better if you can mix it all in one mix than double, because at least in my experience, I found that I can't seem to get the same color twice or the same depth of color. Maybe I should put it that way. Let me give this a really good stir and finish filling this. Let me stop there for a second. I just really, 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 really want no bubbles in the jawbones, no bubble pits. I know I had my hand in your way again. 60 was the right number. It was the right number. All right. So I'm going to kind of wipe the table off, give this a cover, and I will meet you back here for the unmolding. See you shortly. It is that time. Let's do the unmolding. I think I'm going to start with the clear skull, the one that I backed with the clear or back poured with clear. And let me see if I can get this nice and loose around here before I do anything else. I'm working on it, y'all. These are so tiny, it's a little hard on my old hands. It feels like it's coming out. There we go. Oh, that's not bad at all. I have bubble pit in the cheeks. I don't know if you can see. Those little cheekbones just really like to latch onto bubble pits. But using the clear, I think it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and compare that to the one that I backfilled with the black. I made quite the mess on my mat. I might have some cleaning to do. Just trying to get some air down in here, kind of loosen this up a little bit. Let's see if we can't get it out. I know I need to buy some more, another set that's got the small ones, because I'm just wearing these small little skulls out, these molds. Oh, then we have a little bubble pit up by the brow on that one and on the cheekbones. But I don't think really that there's much of a difference as far as the backfill color. But the blue is really pretty. I do, however, need to replace these molds because they are getting a little bit dull. There's the skulls. I'm pleased with the blue. The blue is really, whoops, It's almost as if you shift it around, it's almost like a blue with some purple hues to it. I can't really see it on the camera. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the dragon. This is the one we poured the black cherry. I had to be very careful with this one. Because it is thin. I definitely need to be very careful around the tail. I have broken tails before. Almost there, y'all. Just want to be very careful around that tail. Okay, let's see. Now the back of it, as you can see, there's some of the powder coming through. I mean, it looks pretty. So let's see what the, oh, wow. That is pretty. Again, it's just not showing up on the camera as well as I would like. Remove those. And let's go ahead and I'm going to start with the clear first, simply because I do like the fact that you can see through it. Now, if you notice here where some of the powder has floated up, in the black it looks really pretty, but I don't know if maybe I should have burnished it harder, thumped it harder, because if I wanted to pour a piece with a colored background in a clear and say I wanted to put something in there, I wouldn't want that powder floating up, but it looks pretty cool. Oh, I have some trimming to do, but look how bright and shiny and pretty that is. Oh, I like that. And look, it's almost translucent. I also like that. I mean, if you wanted to make like a something like a sun hanger thingy, I don't know what they're called right now. Sun catcher, maybe. Like a rainbow colored one, you could do that. That blue is, I think the black cherry and the blue so far, of course, that's all I've looked at, are my favorite. All right, let me go ahead. I'm going to do the white. Again, the backing. I don't know. Maybe I should have thumped it harder than I did. This is with white backing. But that works too. Y'all, look how shiny. That is so pretty. It's just, it's almost like it's chrome looking to me. It's very shiny, very pretty. That one and that one. Let's go ahead, and this is the one with the backing. It's pretty too. I forgot to look at the sides, but isn't that pretty? I mean, it kind of reminds me of the coasters I made, the rainbows and raindrops. This would work real well in something like that, as well as other things. I am very pleased with the powder. I definitely learned that a little bit goes a long way. I know when I brushed these, I kept saying only one, only one. And I think just automatically I did too. But it really, I brushed too much. You barely need any at all. But it was easy to brush into a 3D. Now, I don't know if I did the big skull, how I think it would still be easy to brush in there because it sticks real well. Overall, I'm very pleased with the intense powders. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I do want to thank you for watching. I ask you to consider hitting the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.